Okay, I'm sure you have heard of imposter syndrome. It's on a lot of people's lips right now. There's so many articles that are being written about it, and it's coming up in a lot of different spaces. And if you are one of the 70% of people who have experienced imposter syndrome at some point in your career, and you're wanting to learn how to deal with it, please stick around for a few minutes because I'm going to share some ways to know that you might be experiencing imposter syndrome and 3 ways that you can deal with it. But first, who am I? My name is Kia Myers-Dugan. I am a recognized coach and speaker, and I help people just like you to build up the courage that they need to make their dreams bigger and more important than their fears. So, recently, I did an informal poll with my Instagram audience about imposter syndrome. If people have noticed that these feelings have come up, and when they've noticed the feelings come up, what does it cause them to do? Do they act instead of being stuck, or do they freeze up? Of the people that responded, 92% said that they've noticed imposter feelings arise at some point. And of those respondents, 60% of people said that they get stuck or they freeze up. That's 3 in 5 people that are not taking action in their lives or some aspect of their lives because of those feelings of being an imposter. So what is imposter syndrome? Imposter syndrome is that persistent, nagging, sometimes really painful feeling that you are where you are because of luck, that your accomplishments don't matter, and that you don't know what you're doing, and that you're going to get found out, that you're going to be exposed for being incompetent. And really, this is rooted in our issues with self-esteem and having low confidence, even if we have all the receipts, all the proof, all the accomplishments to prove that we are good at what we do and that we do know what we are doing. And imposter syndrome, ways to know that you have it, imposter syndrome can manifest as perfectionism. It can manifest as overworking. It can manifest as these like type A behaviors, or where you're questioning every single decision that you make. So what can we do about it? Here are, and this is just a short list, but here are just 3 ways that you can manage your feelings of being an imposter. The first is check your inner critic. Your inner critic, your imposter syndrome is rooted in this little nagging voice that's in your ear or on your shoulder telling you that you don't know what you're doing, that you're not enough, that you're not good enough, and that's usually false. But the way that you can check that inner critic, that inner imposter, is literally to have a conversation with yourself and ask that inner critic that's in your ear to prove it. You could literally say, tell me what evidence you have to support your claims. Show me where I'm not good enough at what I do. It seems silly, and you'll probably feel silly doing it. You know, you could do it in a mirror, you could write it out. It feels weird, but that is a way to stop that automatic cycling of negative thoughts. You can just stop it in its tracks and ask yourself to identify, is this true or am I making this up? So that's your first step. Step number 2 is to name your zones of brilliance. So building off of what your inner critic might be saying, you take the responsibility of naming what your zones of brilliance are. And zones of brilliance, quite simply, are the things that you're good at. What are the strengths that you have? What are the skills that you're really good at? What do people come to you for? What do they rely upon you for? These are your zones of brilliance, these things that you're known for, these things that you do with ease without even having to think about it. That is your proof that you are good at what you do, that you have gotten to where you are because of your experience and your know-how. So write out a list of 10 things that you know you're good at. And the thing about your zones of brilliance is that oftentimes we don't think that we have any because we're so caught up in the cycle of hustling and overworking and perfectionism. Signs of imposter syndrome, right? So get out a piece of paper, write out your zones of brilliance right now, after this video, I mean. The third way to deal with your imposter syndrome is, quite frankly, to take action. So for the 40% of people who responded to my survey who said that they do act even though they might be scared to or feel like they're not equipped to deal with whatever's on the other side, taking action allows you to build up your competence. That's the only way that we learn. That's the only way that we grow, is by taking steps forward. You can't grow, you can't prove your worth if you're staying stuck in a comfort zone, or if you're staying stuck out of fear that you're going to get found out, or that you're not going to be good enough, or that you're going to fail. You have to take action. So, to quickly recap, the 3 steps that you can take to deal with your imposter syndrome today, right now. First, check your inner critic. Ask your inner critic to prove that you're not good enough. Second, define or name your zones of brilliance. That can go directly counter to your inner critic. Okay, well, here's a list of 10 things that I'm good at. So there, I can do this. And number 3, just take action. Take action even if you feel scared about your capabilities, because the only way that you're going to grow your capabilities, the only way that you're going to improve is to stretch yourself. So I hope this was helpful. Drop a comment below. Let me know how this worked out for you. And please do subscribe, share it with other people who you know who are experiencing this, and to like it. Just hit that thumbs up button. With that, until the next time, please keep taking steps to make your dreams bigger than your fears. See you next time.